On the coldest night of the winter, Eli stood in the empty bakery with flour on his sleeves and a debt notice in his hand. The ovens were dark. The chairs were stacked. Even the clock above the counter seemed tired of waiting. For 3 years, he had kept the little shop alive with stubborn hands and cheaper ingredients, telling himself that hard work would eventually turn into luck. Instead, the roof leaked, the bills climbed, and the neighbors who once came for warm bread had found other places to spend their mornings. He folded the notice and looked at the last tray of dough rising under a towel. Tomorrow, the landlord would come. Tomorrow, the lights might go out for good. Then something strange happened. A child pressed her face to the window, her breath fogging the glass. Behind her stood her mother, holding a broken umbrella and a grocery bag that looked almost empty. The child pointed at the bakery sign, then at the tray inside, as if she had seen a miracle instead of a failing business. Eli opened the door before he could decide not to. The mother apologized for disturbing him. She said they had been walking home from the clinic, and the little girl had been talking about his cinnamon rolls all week, the ones she had tasted after the summer parade. They could not afford much, only a loaf if he had one left. Eli glanced at the dark kitchen, at the debt notice, at the tray that represented his last flour and his last hope. Then he heard himself say, "Come in." He baked all night. Not because it was wise, not because it solved anything. He baked because the oven still had heat, because his hands still remembered, because the smell of yeast and cinnamon made the room feel less like a tomb and more like a beginning. One loaf became 3, then 6, then a row of golden shells cracking open under the heat. The mother could not pay for all of them, so Eli gave them what he could and wrote the rest in chalk on the wall. For later. At dawn, people began to gather outside. First, the mechanic who missed Eli's cheese twists every Saturday. Then the nurse from the corner clinic. Then a delivery driver, a cleaner, 2 students, and an old man who claimed he had not eaten a proper breakfast in months. Word moved faster than Eli expected, carried by memory, hunger, and the simple fact that light was on in the bakery again. By noon, there was no room to stand. Someone handed Eli a stack of flyers and said the neighborhood had been looking for a place to meet, to talk, to help each other. Someone else offered to repair the roof. The nurse promised to post a notice about the bakery's morning bread drive. The mechanic arrived with lumber. The students came back with paint.